Good morning, everybody. This is Tyler's Talking Sports. If this is your first time tuning in, we're so glad to have you here. My name is Tyler Hess. On the other side of the mic, my brother from another mother, Tyler Castle. You'll meet him in a few minutes, and I think you'll like him. If this is your first time tuning in, you got to know what you're listening to. Here at Tyler's Talking Sports, we cover college football, we cover college basketball, we cover college baseball. You name it in the college world, we're talking about it. From breaking news to big games to new coaching hires to kids entering the transfer portal, we cover it all. So, if you love what you're listening to and you love this episode, be sure to find us on all major podcasting platforms. Find us on social media. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Be sure to give us a follow and a like there. We're also on YouTube and TikTok, but on YouTube, be sure to give us a subscribe, because when you do, that allows you to get exclusive content that nobody else gets that's not subscribed to us. When you subscribe to us on YouTube, you get exclusive access to our 10-minute episodes that we drop weekly throughout the week. Plus, our 2 episodes we drop every Monday and Thursday at 6 a.m. You're not going to want to miss any of the content we have, and we appreciate you guys being here, and we hope you enjoy the episode.
This episode is brought to you by Next Level Fitness Club in Lebanon, Virginia. 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. They are a 24/7 gym facility, 24/7 tanning. They also offer certified personal training and certified functional fitness classes to fit all needs. If you're in the market for a gym membership, this is a great place to hit up. Hit up Ethan, Tyler, or Jordan at any of their numbers, and check out their website at www.nextlevelfitnessclub276.com.
This episode is brought to you by Little's Lawn Care. Little's Lawn Care is the all-you-need lawn care people. You need your yard mowed, you need your leaves blowed out of your yard, you need your gutters cleaned out, contact Little's Lawn Care at 276-698-5104. Again, that number is 276-698-5104. You can text them and you can call him. His name is Brandon Little. He's an incredible person, and be sure you let him know that Tyler sent you.
And we're live! Season 4, Episode 2. Hess Has Returned, as you can see in the camera. Welcome back to Tyler's Talking Sports. First time tuning in. On the other side of the mic, my brother from another mother, Tyler Hess, and myself, Tyler Castle, bringing you Tyler's Talking Sports. I like that.
That was good, wasn't it?
I like that little echo behind me there. Yeah, guys, we're back.
Yeah.
A little bit delayed. Hess had some family stuff happen yesterday. Fall moved up the schedule a little bit, so can't really help that. So we had to move the recording to Friday, but hopefully everyone's had a wonderful week so far. We're glad to be back. We're glad Hess is back from his trip. We're going to go into the details on that and just a little bit of sports, but most of the times, guys, this is just going to be us back and forth, talk a little bit of life, and then get into the sports a little bit. So hopefully y'all like these takes on these episodes. But Hess, how's life?
Man, can't complain. Work's been a little different. Told you about my job change, new role or whatever. Same job, same place, just doing a little bit more work there. So that's been an adjustment. Go from sitting on my hind end for 8 hours to walking like 10 miles a day. So
that's only 10.
Only 10.
How many steps a day are you pulling now? 12,000?
I'm averaging 25,000 steps a day.
25,000 steps a day.
I'll see how many I had. Today I did work half.
How many miles is that?
Today I worked half on the floor, and then I had to go to the office after lunch. So I worked from 6 a.m. to 12 o'clock. I walked 13,020 steps, and I walked 6.15 miles. Yesterday.
Yeah, so you are close to 10 miles a day.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, it's yesterday.
I thought that was just a stretch, but nah, you're actually close.
Yesterday was 20,000 steps and 11 miles.
Jeez.
Let me see. Let me go one more day here.
I didn't know you signed up for long distance running. That is crazy.
Tuesday.
20,000 steps a day. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's 20,000 anywhere from 9 miles at the least to around 12 miles.
9 to 12. It's a good thing that you trained at Next Level Fitness Club.
It is,
one
absolutely.
of our sponsors for this video.
That's why I was doing a lot of cardio beforehand. So it really helped out.
Very smart. He was training before it. Yeah. And guys, if you're looking to get your steps in, they got quite a few treadmills out there.
They do.
All kinds of cardio equipment.
New equipment coming in pretty much every week, seems like. A lot of updates coming. Good future, good outlook. It's
They actually got a new piece today. Yeah, vacuum cleaner. Got to keep it clean. Piece of equipment, man. Nothing like a Bissell. No plug there. No free shout out, but nothing like a Bissell.
Is it wireless?
No, and it has a cord. And the reason why, I'll say this. The wireless, I've had both, right? I've had wired, I've had cordless. Cordless.
Cordless. Yeah.
The cordless doesn't last as long with the battery, and 2, the suction rate is not as
The suck is not as good.
It's not as good.
We've all been there, right?
On a cordless. But
you just want to blow over
the
that?
corded is excellent.
Yes, I agree.
The battery life is nonstop because it's plugged in.
You hear that, ladies?
And it picks up all the dirt and everything else that you need it to pick up.
I like it. And usually, I feel like with a corded vacuum, you get more attachments. You get more stuff with it. I feel like you pay more for the cordless, and you get less attachments and all that good stuff. So, but I'm like you. I've got a Shark cordless.
I got a Shark here at the house, yeah.
And then I got a Shark corded one, and I like it so much better.
Yeah, the one I have at the gym currently is a Shark corded.
No free
But I went with a Bissell this time because it's on rollback pricing from the great Blue and Yellow company. I'm not going to name their name.
Nice. I will say this cool thing about my Shark. No free shout outs to them. The corded one. You know how when you vacuum, that vacuum has that smell. They always have it. It's got a filter
smell
on the end of it that puts out an aroma of cleanliness. So it don't give you that vacuum smell. It just gives you like a fresh smell. It's really cool. I'll show it to you next time you're up. You might try it out.
Oh man, Tyler's talking vacuums, guys.
That's right.
I didn't see this conversation going there.
TTV, baby.
TTV, baby. We changing the name.
That's right.
All right, but the real question.
Yeah.
The real question before we get into the trip details on your whole trip and college football news is one gorilla versus 100 men. Who wins?
One gorilla. Or are the 100 men weaponless?
I don't think that's been specified.
Have you watched those YouTube videos of that stuff?
Yeah, I've watched a bunch of them.
I have too.
I guess, let's say no. But it could be any 100 men that you want it to
gorillas. Be. Oh, whoa. If it's Chuck Norris, it's over because I've watched those.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris beat like a 10,000 Mayan soldiers,
I've seen like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Have you seen the Harry Potter ones?
It's Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. Let me specify.
Oh yes, they put that on.
Yeah, you pick up the prime. But I'm going with the silverback as well. Yeah, I'm going with the gorilla.
You get that thing's mad, man. It's over.
That thing's what, like 400 pounds?
Depends on the age of it. I think they get way up. I think they get in the thousands.
But they're so fast and like.
You know what? I'm gonna look at the average.
Okay, I went to Knoxville Zoo last year. I saw one in person. They're massive. So my thing is, if you're in this conversation with the 100 men, who's going first after that gorilla? Is the real question.
I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way, man. I'm going if I'm one of that men.
I mean, because that gorilla is probably going to destroy you. Let's just be honest. But yeah, I wanted your take on that. I'm definitely one gorilla is my take as well on that. So
the average weight of a silverback gorilla is 430 pounds. And
that's close.
They stand around 5 feet tall. Short.
Short. Oh, 5 foot short to you? Oh,
it is. Some larger individuals can weigh up to 500. So it's like your big burly ones out there, lifting trees and boulders.
Eating a little protein.
Yeah, eating that protein.
Eating them. They just eat like I don't know. It's weird. They eat like grains.
Yeah,
that's usually what they get.
Mostly grains.
Yeah, mostly grains.
And they eat, I think, fruits and stuff like that. But they don't. They don't.
Not what you would think.
They can eat meats, but they don't do that unless it's like a dire situation. But it's like they sense that they need that, so they.
Yeah.
But that's like
and they fight with each other like crazy.
Yeah. Gotta find the perfect mate, man. Gotta fight.
Yeah, when we was down in Knoxville, I remember like there was a family, right? They had a family. And you saw like the son, this lady was telling which ones was son, the daughter, the wife, and the dad was like not there. Well, then all of a sudden the dad comes in and he's like 4 times the size of all of them.
Yeah, big guy.
And he put his back up. I mean, it's just all silver. Right?
I was thinking,
big old son.
Not to get off on a big tangent here or anything, but about all the people, or just in general, people have relationship problems. Guy can't find the right girl, woman can't find the right man. If we lived a more primal way and fought it out, man, you would definitely I ain't messing with him. He beat the crap out of Joe Blow down there, and I ain't messing with him. That's his girl.
I ain't fighting with him.
Yeah.
Start beating that chest.
That's right. Whoa.
yeah, beat that chest, baby.
That's right.
Yeah, one gorilla.
One gorilla, definitely.
Listeners, let us know. Would you take one gorilla or 100 men?
I'll put that up as a poll.
Yeah, one gorilla or 100 men. Yeah. I'm very curious.
I'm curious what people.
I mean, it's very mixed. Like I've heard good things on the 100 men, but I'm like,
if
you had weapons, 100 men.
The only way I think a non-weaponized 100 men win if it's 100 Adam Taylors.
Oh, shout out to Adam Taylor. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. He's cutting right now. He's cutting. I don't know.
But I would take 25 Jadas over 100 Adam Taylors.
Oh, okay. All right, just going on the plug there with the Taylor family.
Yeah, going on the plug with Taylor family.
All righty. Trip details. How was flying?
Loved it. Flying was great. Apparently, we had some pretty rough turbulence, but it didn't really bother me. I didn't think nothing about it. I had a couple people around me. It was like, oh, this is pretty rough. because I sat beside a dude from Ghana on my way to Denver, and he was like, "Oh, this is pretty rough." I was like, "This ain't bad. This ain't nothing." Like, to me, it was nothing, but apparently he flew, and he was like, "This is part of some of the roughest I've experienced." But I loved it. Takeoff
Was it shaking?
Yeah, it was shaking, doing a little bit of like a roller coaster, like the up down kind of thing,
Yeah.
a little bit shaking.
Up down.
Yeah, but takeoff was
Georgia line there.
takeoff was awesome. When you get to go up, like we left at like sunrise on Thursday and got to look over Knoxville, watch the sun kind of rise. That was cool when we got above the clouds, seeing the sunrise. That was cool. Shout out to our pilot, the one that landed us in Denver. That was absolutely I didn't even realize we landed. That's how smooth it was. Like, I mean, it was crazy. But yeah, the flight was great, man. Both coming and going. It was great. Other than the fact you had to get up early to get there. But TSA, shout out to those people doing their job. Tennessee is confiscated. I don't know how this is a good thing or a bad thing, but they have confiscated more guns in their state going on airlines than any other state in the country. So shout out to them for doing it, but not a shout out for the people trying to bring a gun on a plane.
Was Ja Morant on that list?
Probably. Shout out Ja.
Shout out Ja.
Yeah, flight was good though, man.
That's it. That's all I had.
That's all you had. That's all
I wanted to know about your trip. What's your favorite thing about the Denver area?
The people.
The people.
I've been many cities, doing this baseball trip. I've been many cities just in general, going on vacations and stuff. And
he's a traveling man.
There wasn't a single place we went that people wasn't like, "How you doing? Good evening, good morning. Excuse me." Like, very polite. Nobody was like...
So people in Denver have manners.
Oh, I mean, it was incredible. Like, everywhere we went, like, we had a little trouble getting our Airbnb. The lady got our times, I think, mixed up on when we was going to arrive. We called her up. She apologized. She was very sincere about it. She helped us get in, get the code and everything to the door. But, like, even at the restaurants, the breweries we went to, the national parks stuff we went to, and it was just... maybe we got lucky, but they wasn't a single rude person. Even at the ballpark, I made big buddies with I'll talk about this when you ask me a little bit more. I made buddies with the people who get the foul balls that sit there on the field. I made buddies with him, talked to him. Super nice. I mean, just everybody, all the way around us. Everybody was so nice. It was great.
Nicer than here?
Yeah, we need to do better in Southwest Virginia.
Oh, y'all heard that.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that if you're listening. Be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice to your neighbor.
Yeah.
How big is a bucking bronco?
Pretty big.
Pretty big.
There's a picture of me with one, and it's pretty big. And by the way,
it made you look pretty small.
Shout out to the guys who did the sculpture of it. They did all the details. Like, they was literally everything that's on a horse was on that horse, if you know what I mean.
You mean a bronco?
Yeah, the bronco, yes. Everything that was on it was on it. Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
How was the game?
Game was... I was cheering for the Rockies because Buddy Brian was there, and he had never been to a Reds game in his life that the Reds had won. But game first night, I talked to you a little bit. It started out at 45 degrees, and then for whatever reason, there was no rain on the forecast. A cloud or something just kind of set in, and it started raining and kind of spitting flurries. It got down to about 34 degrees.
A little dandruff coming out there, huh?
Yeah, it was. I didn't get cold. Shout out to Columbia. They provide good product. I had just a vest on. Just had the Columbia vest. But game was great. The atmosphere was good for shout out to the Rocky fans. I mean, they got the worst record in baseball. They're set to be the worst team in Major League history. They showed out.
That's pretty bad.
To the ushers and everybody. I mean, they helped us take pictures.
Hot plug here.
Yeah.
They're going to be worse than Chicago White Sox last year.
Yeah, absolutely. The Rockies are essentially a AAA team playing Major League level.
That sucks.
Yeah, they got
Jordan Beck's on that team.
Yeah, and hey, shout out to Jordan Beck. He got called up the day before we watched them play.
5 home runs in 5 days.
Yeah, he hit 2 while I was out there. Watched both of those. He hit one, a monster shot out to left field. Almost hit the Toyota sign. That was the first time all year anybody's hit one that far out there. So that was cool. The next day we went, which we got. I might get in trouble for this if any Rockies ticket people are listening. We bought this standing room only ticket because we left Pikes Peak later than we expected. So we got to the game like second inning. So we bought standing room only, which was like $27, and you got a $6 concession stand voucher with that. So you take $6 off your concession stands. And that was anything you bought too. So that was cool. So our seats were at the very top-ish, but everybody buys those because they don't have a count on those. So they just buy those. So if you ain't there at the beginning of the game, you don't get to sit right there at that little, they got like a little bar thing where you can set your food and drinks and stuff, and you can stand, but you have like a table. Couldn't get to it at all. So we were like, this is going to suck. So then we went and sat, and that's a cool thing about their stadium. At the very top, they have a purple line, and all those seats are purple. And if you're sitting on that purple line or above it, you're sitting at a mile high or above. So we went up there and sat, but then we walked down, and our tickets that was on our phone from the night before, which we were one row from actually I ended up sitting on the first row on the first base side
Nice.
in right field. We used those tickets, and the lady said, well, there's people down there. And we was like, we don't care. That's fine. Let them sit there. We'll just sit over here. So we sat 5 rows back from the field, one section over, watched the rest of the game. It was 75. No humidity. So it was that was another thing. I've never been in cold weather with no humidity. And it wasn't as cold.
But it just felt different.
It did feel different. Like it was like 35.
Not like a warm 75.
Yeah, and the 75, the 45 felt more, or the 35 felt more like 45, 55, except for the rain. The rain kind of sucked. But yeah. The 75, there's a little breeze. Beautiful park. My favorite aesthetic from the park was part of their scoreboard, because at the top they got like the Rocky Mountain outline. That was really cool. I highly recommend anybody that goes out there. Like I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave Denver. Weird thing, don't expect when you fly in, if you ever go, for it to be mountains. You can see them if it's not a cloudy day. You can see them when you're coming in, but they're about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour out outside of Denver, but once you get there, it's nothing but Rockies. But I mean, it's as flat as the tables we got in front of us here. Like, it is so flat. Looks like farmland everywhere.
Looks like a pancake.
It does. It was. We were all shocked. We were like, where are the mountains? But then, like, when you get to them, man, it's
Had
like,
anyone already been there? Or is it first trip for everybody?
as far as, first trip for everybody. It was. And it was, we were all shocked at first, but then, like, you get out there and you get to the mountains, man. It was, we went to Rocky Mountain National in Estes Park the first day, Thursday, when we landed. And, we couldn't go all the way to the top of Estes because the road was still closed because of snow. But we went about 9,000, 10,000 feet up. I had no issues with air. The air is thinner. You can tell it different. Like, even when you breathe, it's a lot crisper. Like, it feels like it's cleaner. Like
refreshing.
Yeah, it's very. Then we went to the ball game on Thursday, but then Saturday. Friday was the ball game. Then Saturday was the next game we decided to go to. Friday we went, it rained and stuff. It was kind of a dreary day. That's when I got to see my Broncos stadium. They didn't get to go in. They were doing Monster Jam, so I didn't have no interest to go in there and just see dirt mounds. But I got to go in the team shop. My buddy Brian that was with us, he's a Chiefs fan, go figure. He walked in and said, since the Chiefs have dominated Denver at home, where's the Chiefs gear in here, since it's our home away from home? And the cashier lady told him to get out.
Did she really?
Yeah, she pointed to the door and told him to get out. So that was pretty funny.
Did he really have to leave?
No, he didn't. But she was kind of. But it was funny. She was serious. Like, at first I thought she was serious, but that was just cool. As a lifelong Broncos fan, to be there at the stadium, some of the statues, and just be there, that was awesome. And I got to walk over to where the old stadium was that they had. Like, it's kind of like the Braves, where they had Fulton County Memorial thing. They had something set up, but it was cool because they used pieces of the old stadium and the seats that were in the old stadium, built a mini replica of the stadium. So that was cool to see. And then we hit a couple breweries up that day. And then we went to Coors, which is the largest manufacturing drink facility in the United States.
Really?
And it's huge. But fun fact, people out there may drink Coors Light or whatever. We got to try Banquet, Coors Light, Blue Moon, and then they had some other ones. I didn't realize that Coors bought Miller Lite. So if you're a Miller Lite drinker, it's Coors. It's brewed by the Coors Company now. They bought them out in 2018. But the Banquet beer, this is the fun fact here. Well, one more thing about Coors. Everything they use is American-made, and anything they have waste-wise, like if they have barley or wheat or anything, that doesn't get brewed into the beer when they're making it. They fill anywhere from 13 to 15 tractor trailers full of that every day, and they give it to local farmers to feed their cattle and all their animal and stuff. And then any of the other waste they use, they give it to other people. They do stuff that goes into dog food, so they give it back. And that was what Adolph Coors wanted when he built his house. He built a house in Golden, and he said everything is going to be from him.
Adolph?
Yeah, his name was Adolph Coors. Everything that he does will be made in America, in Golden, Colorado, and distributed to the American people. So I thought that was cool. But the fun fact here, Coors Light, if you're a Coors Light drinker, which some people are, some people ain't, if you're on the East Coast, you more than likely get that from Virginia or North Carolina. They have one in Chicago, North Carolina, Virginia, and maybe Missouri. But if you drink the Banquet, which is in the gold can, that 100% comes out of Golden, Colorado, and they have a water spring that comes through the facility that they actually, all their beer is made with that same water. But the stuff it's
actually from the spring.
Yes, and the Banquet beer is actually brewed there. So if you buy it here in Lebanon, Virginia, it actually was made in Golden, Colorado. So
wow.
the cool thing about that was she had it on draft, which was actually piped in straight from the facility. It was completely different tasting than what you get when you, even at the ball game, it was completely different. Even what you get here, like I was like, I'm not a big banquet person, but I'll try it because she was talking about it.
Yeah.
Best beer I've ever had in my life. It was
Knock your
crisp.
socks off.
It was fantastic. It was so fresh. So that was cool. Then, like I said, Saturday we went to Pikes Peak.
Yeah, hiking. How was that?
Pikes Peak was absolutely breathtaking. I mean, everything out there in the Rockies was breathtaking. No, Friday we went to Pikes. Friday we went to Pikes. No,
Hess messed up on. Yeah, you went Friday, probably. The game was Friday. You went to that game that evening. I thought you went Friday day.
I went Friday. No, I landed Thursday, Friday night, and then Saturday. Yeah, Saturday was a lot. We tried to get a lot in because it was a day game. So that game started at 2:00 out there, but 4:00 here. So we had our afternoon. But anyway, we went to Pikes Peak that morning. First, we went to go Red Rocks, watch sunrise, but it was too foggy. But Red Rocks was cool. But we went to Pikes Peak, and we got up to 11,000 feet, and we seen this rock formation. And we're like, hey, let's get out. We could probably climb that, get on top of it and just see out. Well, we all got out, and I'm not joking to you. I got lightheaded. Brian got lightheaded.
Oh, wow.
We got to the top of the rock formation as far as we could without falling off.
Passing out.
Yeah, and then we got back down, got in a car, and
why'd you get lightheaded? Just because how high you were?
Like, I understand what they say about a Rocky Mountain high. Like, my head got lightheaded, but the cool thing was we got to go to the top, which we was afraid we wouldn't be able to because they just had opened the road up because there's still, like, you get to the top, there's still about 8 inches of snow up there that's been there for months. We got to the top, which is at 14,101 feet. It's the highest paved road in America, and it's also the highest road in the world. It's the only road in the world that goes that high.
14,000 feet.
And it's the tallest place in America. But we got to the top, and they have a little gift shop thing. Well, I was walking down the stairs to it, and my legs started giving out. They were shaking because of the air, because I was just struggling. And I didn't realize it until that moment, but I got lightheaded. I had to sit down.
Jeez.
It was 60 degrees at the bottom. When we got to the top, it was 28 degrees with a 35-mile-an-hour wind. But
do you have a jacket and stuff?
I had a jacket. I had a long sleeve undershirt. I had a pullover, and then I had a jacket, and then I had a beanie on.
And was it still cold?
It wasn't that bad, but I mean, it was the wind hitting you in the face would cut you in half.
Yeah,
but
I don't doubt it.
Just being up there and looking out, like, I don't know, it really it took me back for, like, you almost get emotional looking at it because it's just like, this is beautiful. This is like, wow. Not to get religious or anything, but like God's creation, like, man, it was on full display right there, and it was honestly breathtaking. And I'm no pun intended there, but I was blown away by it. But then we left there, went to the Rockies game, which I told you
You almost got blown away is what it sounds like.
Got to the Rockies game. The night before, I made buddies with the ball boy. Most of the people that do the ball stuff are either relatives to the team or their teachers.
Really?
And it's a major league thing across the board. Most people have to start out as an usher and then work their way down. And also I asked, too, I was like, so World Series playoffs? And he's like, yeah, we get that.
You get to do it all?
Yeah, you get to do it all.
Well, not in Colorado. He won't have to worry about that.
There's one pitcher for the Rockies that drinks 3 Red Bull before he shotguns 3 Red Bull before he goes into relief.
Oh, Lord. And
there was another pitcher that he talked about that played for the Mets or the Yankees. I can't remember. He does 6 shots of espresso before every outing that he goes out. They get jacked. The relievers get jacked up. But he was super nice. He was talking about it. Then we went to
have a heart attack out there.
That night, Saturday night, we went to Breckenridge. It's like and I'm going to say this lightheartedly, it's the poor man's, what's that called out there? God, I went blank. Not the Alps. The place they do all the X Games and stuff. Begins with the A. I'm going blank. I had it, and I went blank. Oh, I say, you're like, Aspen. It's the poor man's Aspen.
Somewhere in Aspen.
But that was awesome. There's a lot of pictures. You can look up Breckenridge, look at pictures. It's in between a bunch of mountains. And it reminded me a lot of Asheville, Blowing Rock area with a mixture of like Gatlinburg through in the middle of it. Like it's a bunch of just little stores, big name stores, but little looking stores. Everything's all the way it was when they first built it. A lot of breweries and stuff like that.
But it's pretty.
It's absolutely amazing. Trip was great though, man. I highly recommend. I didn't want to come back. Like I've been to many places, but that's the one place that's my favorite trip I've ever taken. And it had nothing to do with the ball games. It just had to do with the environment, the people. Denver itself, as far as the city, super clean, very easy to get around, very big, bigger than you expect. Like I didn't expect it to be that big. It's bigger than Atlanta, but probably it's definitely smaller than like New York, stuff like that. But it's bigger than Atlanta, super clean. People are so nice. It has a Nashville vibe in some places. Like there's a lot of those like country kind of bar things. The other thing that we did before the Friday night game, and I'll finish here. We seen this thing came up on like Google. It was the baseball park museum, and it was a guy named Bruce. I want to say he was 78, 80. I think he was maybe probably higher than that. Maybe. He has his own personal collection of stuff, and most of it he bought. He said there have been several times he couldn't pay his cars off or his house off. Like he was about to go homeless because he was buying this stuff. But he has stuff from he has a Jackie Robinson worn jersey. He has ticket counters from the old Yankee Stadium. He has the facade that was at the top of Yankee Stadium, the old one. He has a piece of that. He has a piece of the Green Monster. He has bricks from Wrigley Field, Crosley Field. He had three or four Johnny Bench jerseys. He had game-worn cleats. He had a batting circle from Yankee Stadium that Don Mattingly, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, all of them had actually stood on. Derek Jeter, he had stuff from him, and it was all his, but he told stories. He had a story about everything. He knew exactly where he got it from, all this. Then he self-invited himself to our next baseball trip if we need another person.
Really?
He gave us his email and told us to contact him. He'd love to go. But then you can look it up.
He's probably been.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you look up the Baseball Park Museum in Denver, it pulls up a big article about him that was in the New York Times. Wow. It's the #1 baseball collection in the world, and it's number 20 as far as authenticated replica stadium stuff. But but there's pictures on there. He's been to the World Series. And the thing I liked about it, he's a big Rockies fan. That's another thing. He was a creative person when they designed Coors Field. So the front of Coors Field, like the brick, there's an old field called Foley Field that he wanted to replicate that was in Denver. He wanted Coors Field to have that. So the brick with the arches and stuff, that was his design, and they actually implement it. But the thing he does is when he goes to these stadiums, he don't wear Rockies stuff. He buys something from the stadium, so he looks like a Nationals fan or he looks like a Yankees fan. He met David Ortiz. David Ortiz has been there several times. He's met all these players.
People stop by.
Yeah, there's a picture of him and Mariano Rivera, and Bruce is wearing a Yankee jersey. It was just really cool. As a baseball fan, I loved every bit of it. And like I said, he had a story about it.
It's just a museum. Like you can just walk in. And...
Yeah, you pay $20.
$20.
And
gotcha.
That goes to literally, he did file for a LLC because he got a big tax break thing on it too. But he ended up getting so much stuff in there that he got such a big tax break. Said it kind of helped him out because he was in financial limbo. He had a buddy that kind of did him wrong. So he had like a $5,000 piece, and his buddy bought it from him and then turned around and sold it. Like didn't want to. He only sells to people who truly like care about the stuff.
That's what I was going to ask you. Does he sell anything there
for the price? But
yeah,
he don't give it to just anybody. And his buddy said, "Oh man, I've always wanted it." And he said he was tight for money at the time, and he sold it. It was a piece of Yankee Stadium, and the dude turned around and sold it for $15,000. He said so he had a few choice words for the guy. I won't say them on here, but that was cool. So if you ever go to Denver, go to Bruce's. He's got a thing above the door. It says Gate B. That's from Fenway Park because his name's Bruce. But yeah, like I said, he's met David Ortiz. He's been on all these papers. So you can look it up, and he's all over Google. It's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, Colorado, favorite trip I've ever taken in my entire life. Loved it out there. I will go back, and I don't even have to go to a Broncos game or anything. Like I would just go out there and go to the national parks. Seen elk, bear, all these animals. I mean, truly, for us, people over here in Southwest Virginia or even on the East Coast, on this side of the Mississippi, out there it's completely different. Like it's a different world. And it's awesome.
Different world. I wonder if they say that when they come over to East Coast.
That's what Krista was saying. Krista's part like they come over here. And that other thing, there's no trees.
No trees.
Very few like pine trees. I don't know if it's where it's so rocky out there the trees can't really grow. We also seen the formation that's on the Coors light can. We've seen the Rocky Mountains on there. And that has been a thing that Adolph Coors wanted on the can, so people knew that it was as cold as the top of the Rockies.
As the Rockies.
Yep. So that was cool. But we did see that formation. That was nice. But it's words and pictures can't describe it truly. Like you just got to be out there. It's incredible.
So words from Hess, guys. If you're still with us here,
yeah.
If you're still with us on Hess's trip, go to Colorado.
Yeah, I would go there over the beach any day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Well, I'm glad you had a good trip.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad
you wanted to stay out there. But I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back too.
Man, got me wanting to go on vacation.
Hey, you go to Colorado, I'll go with you. I'll help you buy you.
I'm heading out. I'll see you, man. I'm gonna go on vacation.
All right, see you, bud.
Going out, man. College football news.
Yeah, got a little bit.
Just a couple things here, guys. I just wanted to bring this up since we haven't touched on it yet. Lee Corso is retiring August 30th.
That's going to suck.
Yep, August 30th this year. That's the first week of college football.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be on, I guess, I'm sure they're going to do a whole segment on Lee Corso. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. But Hess, I thought this was a fun fact. There are only 3 teams that Corso has picked multiple times and never lost.
I got to tell you, I know the answer to this because when I seen this while we were in Colorado, I quizzed the car. Nobody got it. Even one of the dudes I thought was going to get it.
I would have missed one of these probably.
I was shocked. I mean, I know the answer. I was shocked that USC was 17-0.
I wouldn't have got the number.
I wouldn't have got that either.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever picked against USC. He probably has.
I don't know if he has or not. He likes those swords.
I don't know. He always loves bringing out the sword.
And you got to think they were going out to L.A. all the time back in the Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush era.
Early 2000s. Yeah. That was
what is it?
Fun USC.
USC, Virginia Tech, and what was the other one? Virginia Tech was 4-0, right?
Correct.
Yep. And the other one, I didn't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. What was the other one?
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State, yes.
I wouldn't have got that one.
Yeah.
3-0.
Yep.
3-0. So USC 17-0, Virginia Tech 4-0, and North Dakota State 3-0. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's almost impossible to go undefeated with any college football picks, and especially as long. How long has Lee Corso been doing that? 30 years?
697 was the first year of game day.
Okay, so almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe it is 30.
I think it is 30. I think it is 30 because Kirk Herbstreit said they've been doing this for 30 years together.
Yeah. So
and I think Kirk's right around there somewhere.
Yeah, Kirk joined in like mid-season of the first year.
Yeah, he's been there ever since. So I saw where one of the announcers turned down Big Noon Kickoff. What's his face?
Reese Davis.
Reese Davis, yes.
Yeah, I love Reese. Reese needs to stay.
Yeah, I'm glad he's staying. He needs to stay. That would have sucked. But
would've.
I don't know who they're going to fill it with. I guess, still have Pat. So
they ain't going to fill it like Nick Saban, the role he took last year. He's kind of become.
That's what's going on.
Pat will become the more energy person, which he has been in recent years due to, of course, his health stuff. But Saban they ain't going to add nobody. It'll be Saban, Pat, Corso, Desmond, and Reese Davis and Herb.
That's a good lineup.
It is. I'll enjoy it.
That's a very solid.
That's going to be.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if they bring in like Tim Tebow from SEC.
Yeah.
Network or Nation.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to see Corso say goodbye. That'll be an emotional headgear pick. I hope it's.
Well, he's like 90 years old.
Yeah, he is.
He's 89, I think.
I think he just may have turned 90, or he will just have turned 90 before they do that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Worked his entire life.
Yeah, coach did it all. Played, coached,
did it all. Yep.
Been around college football his whole life.
It's going to be different for sure. I'm sure they're going to do still the mascot though. Probably. I'm sure they're still going to try to keep that going. I say it'd be Pat McAfee.
I wonder though, do you take that from Corso, or do you just let it die?
Or you just let it? You let it be his thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is his legacy.
Pat's more of the guy who gets the.
He's like the hype man.
Yeah. So.
And probably just they'll probably honestly not replace it.
I don't think they will.
If anyone does it, it'd be Kirk.
Yeah, because he's been a guy.
That.
Yeah. I agree with that.
If anyone does it, it'd be Kirk.
That'll be an emotional game day. That'll be a tough one to kind of make it through probably, but
be tough. But it's also the opening week of college football, which is great.
It is absolutely.
So it's a love-hate type thing.
Yeah.
Haven't seen a huge splash really in the portals. I mean, there's been a couple big names. Jacoby Thomas was one of the biggest ones from Tennessee. That was their starting safety. He is now transferred to Miami. I saw that, I think, yesterday evening.
You got a big cornerback from Colorado.
We did get a cornerback today from Colorado.
Was it Horn?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He played 24, something like that. I was reading the stats on him. Yeah, 24 games. Pretty good little numbers. That was apparently a pretty big pickup. So got him at corner. But we pretty much just been swapping back and forth with Colorado because Colorado got two of our players. So everybody's going out west, and that's what it is. They've never been out west. So they're like, hey, I want to go back out west.
Yeah. I did get to see Colorado University, and I got to see Air Force. Got to see their stay. I forgot about it being out there. I got to see the Air Force football stadium.
Yeah.
It kind of just pops out of nowhere. It's in between a bunch of mountains, and then bam, it's like, what's that? And it said it got Air Force.
Did you see Dion? Did you see Dion out there anywhere?
Didn't see. The only jerseys I've seen.
Did you see Shador? His gone.
The only thing that I've seen out there that was Colorado was a couple of jerseys, and none of them were Sanders.
How was the university? Did it look nice? I mean,
we drove by, so I didn't get a good look at it. No, we did.
It looks nice from from TV.
We went by Colorado State. We went right by Boulder, so I didn't really get to see Colorado, but we went through Colorado Springs to get to Pikes Peak, so I got to see the university. It was pretty, but
y'all Uber?
No, we got a rental car, had a Charger.
Got a rental.
Yeah,
Charger.
Yeah, boy.
Electric.
Good old 4-cylinder.
Oh, a Charger.
Yeah,
Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger.
I thought you meant you had a Charger.
No.
Like you had to charge it.
No, but that is
like
another
Tesla.
thing.
Yeah.
A lot. The most electric vehicles I've ever seen
yeah.
in one place. There was a ton out there.
I don't doubt it. Out west, it's insane.
Yeah.
All electric vehicles.
Yeah.
East Coast needs to catch up on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely so. Any big transfer news that you wanted to share? Anything going on in Georgia besides players still probably getting arrested?
Luckily, I think we went at least 3 weeks without an arrest.
Nice. 3 weeks. That's a record.
Kirby Smart now has more first-round draft picks than he does losses.
Fun fact, SEC has the most drafted players since 2007? 2008?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Georgia had 5 or 6 drafted this draft. While we're talking about it,
Tennessee had quite a few.
Yeah, you did. I like the Dylan Sampson pick to
great.
Cleveland. But I'm curious about that because
I hate he went in my conference, but I'm still going to cheer for him.
I'm curious about that though because they got Chubb, they got Sampson, but they also drafted Junkins. So there's a lot of talk that if they don't extend him, they may try to trade Chubb in this offseason before the season starts. So, but I'd like to see Sampson mentor under Chubb because they run the ball.
That's probably what they're thinking.
But Cleveland, though, very interesting draft since we're kind of talking about them. Drafted Dylan Gabriel and then drafted Shanor Sanders in the 5th round, which is where most scouts had him before anybody blows up and says he needed to be.
About the 5th round, yeah.
I read a thing about him today that some team gave him a playbook. They said, we're going to interview you in a week, study this playbook. And he showed up and threw the playbook down on the table and asked them what they were going to do to make him better. And they told him to get out. And that's the second one I know because the other one was the Giants with Brian Dable. He was very arrogant, Dable told him to leave as well.
I'm so surprised.
I'm interested to see what Cleveland does. They still got Watson, which we know what the Watson situation. They got Joe Flacco. They drafted Gabriel.
Flacco wasn't terrible.
They gave Gabriel a 2nd to 3rd round pick or a 2nd to 3rd round grade. Shanora was a 5 to 6 round grade. So to me, that tells me they're hiring Gabriel.
Did I see it correctly? Did Steelers pick up Will Howard late?
Yes, you got Will Howard.
Oh, thank God. That's Josh Allen 2.0. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it could be a very, very good. And you also
got
that's
a great pick.
The linebacker from Jake Sawyer from Ohio State.
Yeah, I saw that. That was nice. That was a good pickup. And we went after defensive line.
Keep talking. I got a phone call. I got to answer real fast.
Oh, real fast. Got to answer a serious phone call. My next question was for Hess, but I will wait while he does this phone call. While Hess is on the phone, going to get into college baseball here in just a second, and then we're going to go into MLB and golf. That's all I really had, guys. I'm just going to sit here and wait on Hess. Still waiting. Pop me as in. We'll be good. We'll start rock and rolling. He'll be on the phone here for 10 minutes. Any takers on how long Hess is going to be on this phone call? Well, this is awkward. Come on, we got a show to do. We got a show. Trying to rush him up here. College baseball. Leaving it there. Must be important. Yeah. I'm on the phone with Hess, guys. Yeah. We're going to cut this segment. Are you done?
Yeah, buddy. I'm done with the phone call. Sorry about that, guys. Had to do a little phone call.
I just cut that if you can.
I will. I'll cut it out.
Yeah. I clicked, hit the little marker.
Yeah.
Once it went on there for about 45 seconds, I was like, I'm just going to tell him to cut this out.
It went longer than I expected.
Yeah, I could tell.
I'll explain in a minute.
And I just totally ran out of stuff to talk about because literally it's not much to.
What's left?
College baseball, MLB, golf, and NASCAR.
Okay, we got it. What was the last thing we said? My phone call?
Yeah, we hadn't got to college baseball yet. We was getting ready to start on college baseball.
Okay.
So
I got it. Just go into college baseball.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
College baseball. I probably just ruined it right there.
No, you did. But, yeah, that's great. I loved it.
Yeah, college baseball.
Yeah.
How's Georgia looking? Haven't heard anything on Georgia in a minute. So
very consistent. Pitching's starting to pan out a little bit better. Still hitting the ball well. They've lost 1 or 2 series over the last couple of weeks, but they've played really well. I think they're still ranked top. They're top 10 still. They're like 7th or 8th, I think.
Okay.
I've seen the ball's been struggling a little bit.
They have been struggling. They lost to LSU last week, last weekend rather. My question to you, is it worry time in Knoxville? Start off 20-0 and not really been the same since. They get a little cocky?
Maybe, but the team's there. Everybody knows what Tennessee's got. Honestly,
I don't think it's panic time. I still think they're a top 10 team.
Oh, they definitely are. And I mean, they're going to be a super regional host. They're still got a very good shot to make it to Omaha. And honestly, could be a blessing in disguise. You drop a little bit, you draw some teams and eliminate some of these big time teams. A lot of people ain't going to want to play Tennessee come playoff time. So, and y'all may run the table and win the SEC tournament and then be completely fine too. So, nothing to worry about in Knoxville. It's baseball. We talked about
It's
this again
baseball. It's baseball, guys. I don't know who they play. They should play somebody today.
I can
First
look it
game.
up for you real fast there, buddy.
Why don't you look that up for me? I'm curious who they play. I might watch that. I do know, not to get jump too far ahead, but we got MLB coming up, and I know somebody else plays tonight, so might have a 2-game series.
They play Auburn this weekend. They're in a weather delay right now.
Okay.
And then the Dogs, if I could spell UGA instead of IGA, I fat fingered that one. Georgia is playing this weekend. They just swept Missouri last weekend. And this week it looks like, well, I don't really know, mate. Who do they play? Sad I can't keep up with it. Baseball.
Georgia don't even have a baseball team.
Don't have a baseball team.
All they got is football. They might not have a football team, so keep it up.
They got Florida A&M tonight in baseball, which is weird. No, they're playing Missouri too. They're playing Missouri.
Okay.
Missouri.
Another SEC. Everybody's SEC matchups.
Yep. So, yeah, Georgia's looking fine. Tennessee will be okay. Georgia, I think that's two teams that nobody's going to want to play come Omaha time.
Well, Tennessee's just been really streaky here lately. Like one game they'll lose like 7-2. Next game they beat them 12-1. Yeah. And they lose the last game 5-4.
Sounds a lot like your Yankees.
A lot like them. I wasn't trying to jump there, but yeah. It's a lot like the Yanks. But one thing on college baseball before we jump to the Yankees real quick. If you're trying to catch a home game, there's only one home series left. That is next weekend. So May 9th through the 11th, they do play Wofford at ETSU. I think the first game's at 5 o'clock on Friday, 2 o'clock on Saturday, and 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Nice. Let's get
so if you want to catch a ETSU series, very, very solid baseball team. Very good record. I think they're first in the SoCon.
Yeah, they beat UNC Asheville last week, like one game, like 15-0.
They're good. Yeah. They're very good. So I told the wife if we don't have anything going on, I might try to catch this Saturday game.
Nice.
If the weather's nice. So
weather permitting.
Game down there. Weather permitting, we shall see what happens. I've heard it's very nice down there, so I'd like to catch a game. But MLB, Braves finally coming alive.
Yeah,
they're 7-3 in the last 10.
They're the second best team since
14
April.
and 16 now.
Yeah, second best.
2 games under 500.
Yep, second best team in the month of April. They're since they started this win streak 2 or 3 weeks ago, as far as winning more than losing. They're ranked second in every batting category. So yeah, Braves are coming alive.
Looking good.
Cunha comes back at the end of the month.
It's about time. They're starting to worry me.
Yeah, so looking good. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can do something with the Dodgers this weekend. But the Dodgers,
that's the beauty of a long season.
It is.
It's a curse too if your team after All-Star break starts tanking.
Right. Yeah.
But it's usually a good thing if they're bad first and they start getting hot. It's good. Yeah. Usually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Cunha comes back. Y'all play the Dodgers this weekend?
Yeah, I got Dodgers this weekend. Dodgers got more pitchers on the IL than any team in Major League Baseball. They don't. Only one. They're
not first in their division either.
Nope. Giants or Padres.
Padres, Dodgers, Giants, Arizona, Colorado. I think that's how it goes.
Poor Colorado.
Yeah, they're 5 games, 4 something like that. 6 games.
Shout out to Colorado.
Oh, got the new pennant up. Yep. That was nice. I love their colors.
Yeah, it is nice.
Is that blue on purple?
Yeah, purple and black.
Purple and black.
Yep.
I almost said blue on black.
I always try to get you can buy the City Connect pennants and stuff, but I always try to buy the original.
Yeah, the regular color. Yeah. I like that. It looks good. Looks very good back there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Inks got the Rays tonight. They got them at 7 o'clock, and then they got 2 more with them. This is at New York, though, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, good.
But the Yankees are, just like we said about Tennessee, one game. They just lost another series to the Orioles. Not surprised there. They lose series to Orioles all the time. Yeah. But they lost first game 5-4, I think it was. Second game, they come out, hit 15, scored 15 runs on 19 hits. And then the last game, they can't hit again. But Judge hit 10 home runs in the month of April. So that is nice. And he's batting .427. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I think over the last...
I'm going to say this right now. Aaron Judge, up to this point of this season, is the best player, well, besides Barry Bonds, because you can't count Barry Bonds, unfortunately.
Should be able to, though.
Should be able to. I agree. In my opinion, Barry Bonds would be the greatest.
Had this discussion while I was out in Colorado. If you put him on the Hall of Fame, if you want to put that it was the steroid era,
put an asterisk. Just put an asterisk next to their name, because what he did is still incredible.
Well, the thing is, the steroid era, baseball became the most popular. Hit the
ball harder.
It became the most popular sport. It was the only time Major League Baseball has been number 1 in America for sports. It saved baseball. Without the steroid era, baseball would have tanked. Major League Baseball would have tanked. They were financially unstable. They would have tanked. That saved baseball.
It's crazy. Mark McGwire,
Sammy Sosa,
Barry Bonds. Yep. All the big time hitters. Jason Giambi,
Alex Rodriguez. Some of these people that Bonds and Rodriguez were the best baseball player in the world, during their time. They didn't need the steroids to be the best. And it sucks that because of that, and what's really sucks is it was completely legal at the time.
Yeah.
There was nothing against it. And now we're going to hold it. We're going to hold it against them. And
my thing is they still have to hit the ball, guys.
It's like Hank Aaron said. It don't matter how many steroids you take. You
still
hit the ball
hit the ball.
You're going to hit it.
Yeah, it would not matter. I mean, talent's still there.
Yeah.
I agree. I think they need to be in the Hall of Fame. And you can put in steroid era, whatever. Yeah. Or just put an asterisk. Put an asterisk next to it. But he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
But anyway, without those guys, since they can't technically count, I think Aaron Judge, in my opinion, so far to this season, probably the best player we've seen.
If you take the last 3 years into consideration, Aaron Judge is hitting .383.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty wild when other players he's the best player I've seen.
Yep, and he's very humble.
Super humble. Nice guy.
Love it.
Nice guy. I'll see him in July.
Nice. Going to Atlanta.
Going to your stadium.
Yeah, boy.
And then I might catch him in Baltimore in September.
Ooh, Baltimore's nice. You love Camden Yards.
I'd like to go to Camden. I've heard good things. We shall see what happens. Yeah, Boone is doom if you're a Yankees fan, so don't get your hopes up. Yeah. I think Yankees will be right there all season. It'll just be one game up on whoever, and they'll either finish first or second in the division.
Yep. Then make a wild card or win the division, and then
and then they'll be happy. They'll be happy they won the division, or finish up with a wild card, make the playoffs, and probably lose first round.
Hopefully not.
Don't have to pitch him, but I will say Fried is on the mound tonight, so I am definitely watching tonight. Fried is 5-0 with a 1.93 or maybe 1.48, somewhere in there. It's low, low ERA. Definitely taking that Cole spotlight. So glad we picked him up off y'all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I always like Fried.
I do too.
So. But your other pitcher, Charlie Morton, is being terrible for Baltimore.
He is in the pen now. They put him in the pen.
Yeah, he's bad.
Age finally caught
him. That didn't play out too well.
I think he's like 0-5 with a 10.86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His first outing, he got blown up.
Like, it sucks that was the Corbin Burns replacement.
Yeah. Yeah, truly. And Morton wasn't bad
in
Atlanta. I always liked Morton too.
I mean, but his ERA was never above 4 the whole time.
No, it's like 3s usually. Yeah. He'd give up a couple runs early, and then he'd settle down.
Yeah. Now age finally got him.
Yeah, and new organization. I swear, I think some players are great out Midwest. Look at freaking Williams. For us, he's not even our closer anymore.
Right.
Absolute stud with Milwaukee, and now he's not even in the closing role in New York. I think certain stadiums have so much pressure.
It's hard
just
to
from
play.
The fan base.
New York's hard to play, no matter what sport.
Certain players can't play there.
Yeah.
It's like the pitcher that we got off Oakland finished second last year, or third in Cy Young. Gosh, I had his name. He came from Oakland, went to us. Sonny Gray.
Oh, yeah.
Sonny Gray. Yeah, Sonny Gray was amazing in Oakland, right? Comes to the Yankees, terrible. I can't remember where he's at now, but he had like a stellar season last year.
Anymore.
Is he not? No. He had a great year last year. Look it up. Make sure I'm right on that.
I don't think Sonny. You're thinking of the year before last. Sonny Gray wasn't nuts last year.
Be positive.
Yeah, I'm by 100%.
I don't know, Hess. I think he might have played last year. It might have been 2 years ago.
He's on the Cardinals. He's 3-0 with a 3.6 ERA.
That's pretty good. What was he last year? Was he on the Cards last year? He might have been on the Cardinals last year. Yes, he was. He was in that. He's probably in that trade with what's his? No,
he was on the Cardinals in 2024. He was 13-9 with a 3.84. But he was with the Yankees in 18, and then he went to Cincinnati for 1, 2, 3 years, and then he signed with Minnesota for 2, and then he went to St. Louis. He hasn't been with you all since 2018.
I know it's been a minute.
Y'all got him from Oakland in the middle of the 2017 season.
Yeah, but he was a stud.
He went 4-7, but he had a 3.72 ERA, so not that bad.
Terrible, New York. Terrible, Hess. I watched him blow every game.
His last year in Oakland, he had a 5.69. So it got better when he got
there. It's like, what's his face in the left field? For us, Verdugo.
Yeah.
He tearing up for y'all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Stuff like that.
Yeah. But I did see a thing about Verdugo.
And then Harrison Bader, same thing.
Bader's up and down, though, too.
Yeah, but he is. But I'm just saying, certain players cannot play in New York.
Yeah, it's hard. New York media stuff.
I think Bellinger was struggling starting out.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on fire now, but I mean, just in the change there for him.
But he played in L.A., though, so he's kind of used to that market.
I like Cody a lot.
Yeah.
Needed some lefties. Goldschmidt has been the best surprise.
Told you Goldie would be good.
360. He batting 364.
Told you Goldie is a man. Love Goldie.
Yeah, love Goldschmidt. Yeah. 3-time Gold Glover.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, Hall of Famer for sure.
What else we got?
Golf, man. Golf's going on. CJ Cup. Can't remember the sponsor for that, but it's the CJ Cup.
That is the CJ, the Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson. Thank you.
It's a CJ Cup Byron Nelson class.
Scotty Scheffler's the biggest name in that.
Yeah.
He was tied for second. I don't know how he played today. If you want to look that up,
If I can find it again, I had it, and then
he was 7 under around 1.
Your leaders right now at the Byron Nelson Classic. Scotty Scheffler, 14 under, followed by Justin Vegas, S. Stevens. I don't know if it's S. Stevens, but I'm calling it S. Stevens. P. Kersey, Will Gordon at 9 under. Scheffler's running away with this thing.
Yeah, he was. He's the biggest name.
Yes, and Spieth is tied for 46 at 4 under.
Okay, Spieth's in it. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Scotty was the only big name I saw, like, top 30 when I looked yesterday, because I was like, where are they playing at this weekend?
Yeah, old Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson. Yeah. If it's not Augusta.
Yep.
Where's NASCAR at this week, Hess?
They're headed to Texas.
In Texas. Any picks on this? Who you feeling? Who you feeling at the big track?
Texas is an interesting one.
I like watching Texas.
There's been weird things happen at Texas. Austin Dillon won a couple years ago on fuel mileage.
That'll never happen again.
Ryan Blaney's good there. Larson's good everywhere. I feel like it's definitely a Hendrick kind of weekend. But long shot, I'm going Ross Chastain with the long shot.
Ross Chastain. You put money on it?
Yeah, why not?
Put money on that pick. Ross Chastain. I'm going to go with this guy that I just started cheering for, William Byron.
William Byron, I like it. Good pick.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with him.
He's due. He's due.
He's due for one, yeah. He's had a lot of top 10 finishes.
He's due.
So I didn't get to watch none last weekend. What happened?
Talladega?
Talladega.
No wrecks.
I was busy.
Well, they had a couple wrecks, but no big wrecks. This new car, it's became fuel mileage at super speedway, so they go half throttle to the very end of the race.
Boo.
NASCAR's got to fix this. But you did have an injury in the Xfinity. Connor Zilic.
Was Dega sold out?
It was sold out.
Nice.
In the Xfinity race, Connor Zilic had a pretty hard hit on the backstretch, which you've heard me talk about him. He's the next big thing, 18-year-old driver. Yeah. He was leading, and his teammate bumped him, and he lost control and hit the wall head on. He has 3 fractures in his back.
Jeez.
Kyle Larson will race in his place in the Xfinity race this weekend. Zilic said he should be back in a couple of weeks, though, because fractures, you just got to heal up and then get to where you can tolerate it. It just kind of heals on its own. But I had that, but the Cup race was good. It was good racing. I mean, they're close packed, but
who won?
Austin Cindric won by
like
a kind of a photo finish in a way.
Yeah.
It was like he won by like 2 feet. Came across the line
okay.
like 2 or 3 wide, but yeah, Cindric won it. Big news: Joey Logano and one more. There's another driver. Joey Logano was the big one. There's another dude in the top 10. They got disqualified for improper spoiler height.
So
they got disqualified. So
I hate that for Joey. I saw Joey was at Hard Rock Casino when they were here in Bristol. Mm-hmm. I thought about just going over there and telling him.
Just booing him.
Yeah, just booing him.
Boo.
Boo.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry for all you Joey Logano fans out there. Can't stand him. I don't know why. The guy's probably nice as can be.
If you get a chance, go on Twitter, go to Chipper Jones, and look at the big thing that Chipper said about Joey Logano.
Chipper.
It got so bad that Logano had to ask him a question about it.
Oh.
No, and Logano said, one, I don't have no issues with Chipper, but he has no right to say what he said about me, because Chipper caught radio where Logano got mad at Austin Cindric for pushing Bubba Wallace to a stage win, and he got on there and said this a lot of foul language, pushing a Toyota to a stage win when it could have been a Ford. And Logano and Chipper got on there and said you shouldn't talk to your teammates that way, but it is Joey Logano, and Logano slammed Chipper pretty much for it. Like, what's he done in his life, pretty much? Yeah. It's pretty little. Joey didn't tweet
just
him
one
back.
of the greatest all-time Braves ever. Yeah.
One of the greatest switch hitters of all time. Period.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, man. I think that'll wrap up episode 2 of season 4. We'll see. We may record again Sunday. We'll see how everything rolls. This is a Friday episode. I'll get this one edited and try to get it out tonight, if not early tomorrow morning. So we'll see what happens.
No rush. Y'all have a good one. It's good being back.
Yes, absolutely.
Take care.
See y'all.